Greetings, void of the internet. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I have a day job. So, video came out when I got around to it. But there was no way I could go without at least putting my thoughts out there on this episode in general. So sit back, relax, and listen to the nasally tones of my voice. This is season 6, episodes 29 through 32, titled Change Your Mind. This episode opens with Steven awaking in the tower and being confronted by Blue Diamond, who talks about some infestation he caused within the homeworld. And it soon becomes apparent that this is a vision from Pink Diamond's time, where she had brought all these sentient creatures to homeworld. So a very common occurrence back then. But Blue talks about the fact that, Pink is very disruptive. She doesn't act properly. She's very much the outcast of the group of diamonds. And Steven kind of reconnects with Pink Diamond to a certain degree. The shame, being the misfit of the diamonds, more or less. And as Steven just goes through this dream, he just starts to see himself as his rose quartz, Pink Diamond himself. That identity issue, that issue of just not knowing who he is or who he's supposed to be, and ultimately the control that White Diamond has over the homeworld as a whole. But Steven then truly wakes up to Connie and, like deja vu, Blue Diamond coming in to just scold Steven. But Connie tries to defend him and say, we were just trying to dance, we weren't trying to cause any trouble. But Blue berates the two of them, saying that you need to apologize, say you're sorry. But Steven's just like, I don't want to apologize because I'm not sorry. That's like, you should never be sorry for just wanting to have fun. Not trying to harm anyone or do anything bad, just trying to enjoy life. And Blue just breaks down from this, not knowing what to do or say. And this wave of sadness just washes over Steven. And he tries to talk to Blue, say, hey, I'm not sorry. I was just trying to have fun. There's more to life than just all the seriousness and all that. And Blue lashes out, attacking Steven. And Steven's just like, no, this isn't right to punish someone for doing something that doesn't harm anyone. There's nothing wrong with what I was doing. Steven has had more than enough of trying to do things their way. And Blue kind of laments this and just comes into the realization that, Pink Diamond was miserable here. Maybe Homeworld isn't the grand place that she, wanted to make it out to be, or thought it to be, or was trying to get it to be. It's the cracks forming in Homeworld as a whole that we had been seeing up until now, where Blue is just like, no, this wasn't right, realizing, despite her fear and her reverence for White Diamond, that maybe doing things this way was never the correct way of going about, life here on Homeworld. And she decides to take Steven and Connie and try to help them escape, bringing them back to Pink's room, getting them some actual food because they are organic beings and they need to eat. And with a brief change of clothes, they set out. And as Blue makes her way to Yellow's domain, they come across the Crystal Gems, and as well as a very upset dad. And by dad, I mean Yellow Diamond, who berates Blue for letting them out. Saying that, this is not... But Blue is very adamant about, no, this is not how Steven wants to be addressed. It's not Pink Diamond, it's Steven, showing that Blue is starting to understand that this is not Pink Diamond. There's more to it than this. There's a lot more going on here than she was willing to admit at first. But Yellow's having none of it and believes that Blue is just indulging Pink Diamond at this point. And if they were to make an exception for her, they would have to make an exception for everyone. And Connie's just like, then maybe you should. Maybe that's the way you should do things. But Yellow is having none of it, and is just like, look, I'll just bring them back myself. And, you know, after Blue adamantly says, I will not put them back, and Yellow goes for them, only to be slapped away by Blue, which shocks Blue, you know, in and of herself. But she just goes all in and just like, fuck it, just attacks, goes at it, and they just start grappling with each other as Steven goes for the crystal gems, puts up his orb to protect him from Yellow Diamond. But, you know, Yellow Diamond and Blue are still going at it. Yellow's just like appalled that Blue would just fight her after everything they've been through, all the consoling that they've done after everything that Pink Diamond has done. Blue's just pink colors of the rainbow. They go at it, you know, busting through the walls. Steven manages to debubble the crystal gems, but they don't seem to want to reform, and they're caught in the crossfire between Blue and Yellow. And, you know, Blue's just like, look, our way of life isn't working. Maybe it never worked. The way we're doing things drove away Pink. It drove me to misery. It drives our subjects to misery. Maybe it just doesn't work. And Yellow, it's very obvious. I love the depiction of her facial expressions because it's so obvious she's conflicted because she knows it's true. She outright knows it's true. Their way of life is not right, but and she's so caught up in everything that needs to be done, she starts attacking and trying to destabilize Blue Diamond. But Steven comes in with a shield to intervene, you know, knocking her away. And he's just like, look, you know it's not right. You know this isn't the way things are supposed to be. And Yellow retaliates, saying, no, we have to be perfect. We have to strive to be perfection, to be accepted by Yellow. And Steven just rebukes this, saying that, you know, perfection isn't this isn't perfection. The way you're going about things, you know, hurting each other, all this infighting, the emotional stress, it's not perfection. And Yellow just sees and takes a moment and just looks out and just realizes this really isn't perfection. Harming someone you care about just to keep a very stagnant ideal? No, that's the very opposite of perfection. When I love this little scene where you see these rocks crumbling, just showing that everything just kind of falling apart, or maybe it was already starting to fall apart and it's just finally giving way. And Steven tries and begs and pleads with Yellow Diamond to help him. And just be like, look, we need to, you know, do things differently. You know, the way that we've been going about things just aren't right. That, you know, my dad always said if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. And I love this series of episodes because they keep referring to all these past bits and pieces from the various seasons, especially the first one, and just bringing everything so full circle. That it's our imperfections that make us who we are, who we need to be, who we're supposed to be. Be whoever you are. And this hits Yellow Diamond, as it just makes her realize maybe we've been wrong this entire time. Maybe there was more to it than this. You know, thinks about the fact that even she knows she's not perfect. And she just breaks down on the spot and feels that maybe Blue is using her powers yet again, but Blue isn't. This is her real emotions, her real feelings that, you know, she's driving away everyone she's ever cared about. And I love this moment because it's so heartfelt and beautiful, and just to see someone who was so strong and opposing before just have this moment of realization that no, this was never perfect. This was never perfect. I've known for a while that it has not been right, but I kept driving it forward with the hopes that things would get better, and they never did. And so Steven and Connie gather up the crystal gems to try to get them out of there, wondering why they haven't reformed, but it's because Yellow's power. She's a lot more powerful than a regular destabilization device, so they can't. It takes longer for them to reform, which makes a lot of sense. That shows why, you know, Peridot and Lapis took so long to come back, because her Yellow's destabilizing ability is just that powerful. And so they make their way to Pink Diamond's leg ship, only to encounter White Pearl and to have the White Head, you know, grapple onto Pink Diamond's leg ship, taking it over, preventing their escape. And this creepy moment where the eyes open and look down on them, it's just, oh man, this mech is so friggin' intense and scary. It is ridiculous. But then suddenly two figures approach. It's Blue and Yellow's hand ships that come in, knocking the ever-loving snot out of White Diamond's mech. And when Steven's just like, oh man, I can't believe this. You guys are really coming through. Blue and Yellow's just like, no, it's not us. White, this is not us. We are not doing this. For the love of God. And they're just like, oh my god, I can't believe this. Who is piloting these ships? And as they knock down White Diamond's ship, it's revealed that Bismuth is piloting Yellow's ship, while Peridot and Lapis, reformed in their new Crystal Gem outfits. Well, Peridot in her Crystal Gem outfit. Lapis still seems a little bit more lacking in diamonds. But in her new physical form, they're all back with the handships somewhat repaired-ish, for the most part. And White Pearl floats by saying, oh, well, it's good that you're having so much fun, but we're gonna have to correct your etiquette. Some corrective measures, some corporal punishment. And Yellow's just like, okay, y'all need to get the fuck up out of here ASAP before White gets up. But Steven's like, no, we came all this way to get White's attention and talk to her. We have no better time than this, with her looking right at them. Man, that ship is creepy. That ship is creepy AF. What the hell? And Connie just gives her 2 cents about, again, things coming full circle with the whole situation with her mom, who just didn't understand. And she had to just sit her mom down and talk to her about things. And with that, she was finally able to get through to her. And Blue's just like, maybe we should do that. Maybe we should at least give it a try. So they gain control of their hand ships and Steven gains control of his leg ship in order to grapple with White Diamond's ship, bringing him down in order to get, you know, up and close and personal to talk to her. And Steven, you know, presents his case that, you know, nothing really has to be perfect. Your world isn't perfect. There are flaws. There are people who are suffering. There are differences. Everyone is different and has their own feelings, emotions, wants, and desires. And you should listen by starting to listen to Blue and Yellow, who are like 2 children. This is essentially the equivalent of a king and a queen being told, hey, go talk to God and convince them that they're fucking up. They are just like, oh God, no, I really don't want to do it. It's like two children being told to own up what they really feel to their parents. It's just like, you don't want to do this, you don't want to be here, but nothing will change if you don't. So they present their case with Yellow saying, look, I've been trying my best to keep things under control, get these planets in line, doing all this stuff, but it's taking its toll on me, and I am starting to break. It's too much. The expectations are too much. And Blue even chuzzes saying, I've been such an emotional wreck. It's been too much with the way that I treated Pink and the way she felt like she needed to run away in order to, be herself. That's not the way things should have been. And Steven highlights by saying, look, you should listen to them and maybe make a better homeworld because of it. Only for White Diamond to blast Blue and Yellow, taking them over just like White Pearl, making them marionettes basically, and causing them to control the hand ships, sending everyone plummeting off, with Peridot saving Connie and Lapis saving Bismuth, only for Steven to continue to plummet down with the gems. He's caught by Connie only to have all of the gems go careening over. He goes in to catch them, grabs onto Amethyst trying to get her to reform, only she doesn't, but they end up fusing, and we see that Steven is able to pull Amethyst out of her gem by having them fuse together. It's just so cool. That is amazing, and it doesn't go against anything we've seen before. It's just like, you need two gems to fuse and form and reform. So it's a very interesting situation, and I love it. And Amethyst appears in her new form and all that good stuff, and she tells Steven to go and get the rest of them while she turns into an owl in order to save herself. Steven goes in for Pearl. They fuse into Rainbow Quartz 2.0, who is the first fusion to have a male voice actor of all things. I love it. Very Harry Potter-esque, kind of like a Mary Poppins male version. And we even see that he can, he, I think I heard that they prefer he, they. He, him, they, them. So we can see that they can fly around on their umbrella, leaving this rainbow trail, goes in, catches Ruby and Sapphire, and we see Pearl reform with this cool jacket, very much probably inspired by the one biker chick that she has a bit of a crush on. Very 80s, like very with the jacket and the puffy shoulders and all that good stuff. It's very nice. Pearl has always had that kind of 80s design and all that good stuff. And Steven calls upon Garnet to come back out because they really need some help, only for them all to be crushed under the heel of Pink Diamond's ship, controlled by White Diamond. However, we see the fusion of Steven, Ruby, and Sapphire, which is Sunstone, and the classic design of a sun with sunglasses. Why would a sun need sunglasses? I love that comment. But oh man, this design is so amazing. I'm sorry it completely overshadows Rainbow Quartz 2.0 for me, because man, this design is hot. Oof. Someone slapped me for making that comment. But Sunstone is super strong, super capable, super confident, just like, yeah, we can do it as long as we band together, guys. It's gonna be alright. I love Sunstone. My new favorite gem. Like, Jesus. And then just like, yeah, now we can go in and try to talk to White Diamond. But remember, kids, you should always try to talk things out, no matter what. And if need be, get an adult to help you solve your problem. Like a freaking Sonic the Hedgehog PSA. That's no good. Like, even the tone of voice is like very reminiscent of Jaleel White, and I love it. I am a big Sonic fan, and this is the best thing ever. Kudos to whoever designed Sunstone, because this is amazing. And we see Sunstone bring out the gauntlets that have suction cups of all things, and Sunstone goes scaling up the ship, but ends up being smacked off and defused. But oh man, I need to see more Sunstone ASAP, because that was fun. But Garnet declares in her new form, I love the, pointed star-shaped glasses, points out that they need to fuse all 5 of them to get the job done. They need to be bigger, and Steven's just like, okay, we need to all fuse, and they all go in doing their own various dances. I love it. And they form the Temple Guardian that we saw, we've seen since the very beginning, and it's so massive and big and powerful on top of that, that everyone goes running, and we see this massive form with the flames. It looks like freaking Tafiti from Moana. And oh my god, this design is so awesome. It lets out this massive roar. Friggin' Obsidian. Dude, that's hot. And since it's a volcanic gem, it spews lava and heat from it. You see all these cinders coming off of it, and it just squares up to the giant diamond mech and just starts climbing on it, just roaring and grunting, and oh my god, so cool. Just jumping when the diamond mech tries to get her and swat her off and all that good stuff. But so the others, size up, ready to go and try to deal with the arms, keep Obsidian from being, intercepted. But before that, Bismuth gives Connie a brand new sword. Oh, so cool. Just like, Bismuth came prepared and was just like, I know the other one got destroyed, so here's a new one. Even better than before. Oh my god. And so in comes the crystal gems, ready to throw down, doing their best to keep the hands distracted, but Lapis and Bismuth get smacked away, with Lapis being knocked out and Bismuth almost hitting the ground at a high velocity, only to be saved by Peridot and her awesome Commandant glasses. But unfortunately, Peridot and Connie get smacked away as well, with Peridot knocked out and Connie falling to her doom, only to be caught by Obsidian. Man, it really gives you a good sense of scale with just how big all of this crap is. And as Obsidian almost is about to be crushed by the diamond mech, Obsidian brings out all the gems, weaponry, and then combines it all together into a hilt of a sword, and then opens its giant second mouth head thing, and just bites on the hilt, bringing out this massive great sword that just has to be wielded with 2 hands. One hand just, oh my god, this is so metal. This is a metal album cover. This is ridiculously awesome. This was worth the wait, because my god. And Obsidian starts slicing through the diamond mech hands just like there's a hot knife through butter, which it essentially is. This thing is heating up as it slices through all this stuff. And Obsidian stabs into the diamond mech's chest and tries to jump forward up to White Diamond onto the ice, starts roaring at it, but the diamond mech smashes its face into some, a structure nearby, defuses losing all of them, but they do their best to hold on. And as Connie says that she's okay, and she's, hanging on best she can, the others make their way into White Diamond's head. Whew. Oh man, so much. Oh my god, it's amazing. So they're confronted by White Diamond and the controlled other diamonds, who simply states that Pink is just the aspect of her, an aspect of her that is flawed and needless. She's just talking down to Steven at this point, and even goes as far to say that, oh, Yellow Diamond's imperfections are that she's too tough. She's so rigid and inflexible and all this stuff, and Blue is so mopey and sad and constantly feels that she needs Pink Diamond around and all that stuff. But me, I'm perfection. I'm all the colors of the rainbow. I am so much better than you could ever be. And the crystal gems are just like, Jesus, what's she talking about, man? But White Diamond is having none of the crystal gems, and then unleashes her power, turning them all white and gaining control over all of them, saying that now I've made them perfection. I've done them a favor. They shall now be as perfect as I am, the living embodiment of perfection. But Steven's like, no, that's not perfection. Their imperfections are what make them who they are, who they're supposed to be. It's not wrong. It's not a bad thing to just be themselves. But White Diamond continues to talk down to Steven, saying that the only reason he surrounds himself with the others is in order to feel needed, to feel wanted, to feel better, to be the best amongst the worst. And it's so messed up, so really just man, that's some cold shit right there. I've heard villains monologue and say some really messed up crap, but it's just like, Jesus. And Connie even comes in and ends up battling against Pearl, and White Diamond holds Steven back, just making him watch as Connie is eventually captured. And Steven says, let her go, she's not a part of this or anything like that. But White Diamond just, in her condescending tones, just like, and so you still continue to surround yourself by these petty creatures who live in the lie that you are not Pink Diamond, that you are not, you've done this to yourself. You caused all this harm and damage by trying to pretend that you're someone you're not, by running away and by trying to fake your death. You've caused nothing but trouble for those around you, but in the end you're still just Pink. And when Steven tries to rebuke this, he's like, well, why do you have her memories? Why do you think so many things that only she would think? Aren't you just, in the end, you're just Pink still running away, which is a fear that Steven has had all this time, just thinking that maybe he's not himself, that maybe he's not him. There's doubt that just looms over him this entire time, that maybe he's just another aspect of his mom. And White Diamond's very vehement about this, that you're just playing around. You've just created this one big mess, and Pink's just not willing to own up to it. So it is really disturbing and just, oof. Just this moment that's just gonna give me nightmares. This will literally give me nightmares. She goes in saying that, don't worry, I will bring out the true you. And she pulls out Steven's gem. Oh my god, I had chills watching this. I just had this queasy feeling going all across me, because it's just like, Jesus Christ. Because there's, luckily, of course, there's no blood or anything like this, but it's a brutal scene, because that gem was embedded in him, and just, oof, does not sit well when it happens. And Steven, we have this awesome split screen where Steven's just half there, and his organic half is weak and basically dying, and he sees his gem reform and go cycle through pink diamond, rose quartz, and then ends up settling on, of all things, Steven. In the end, it was Steven all along. You know, and White Diamond's so taken aback by all of this. And the two Stevens lock eyes. And Steven's just desperately trying to make his way to his gem. His gem hat, because he can't live without this. You know, it's such an embedded part of him that being without it just isn't right. It doesn't function that way. And when White's just like, what is this? Where's Pink? And this, oh my god, in this really intense moment, you have Zach Callison just screaming, she's gone! And it just freaking, like, that scream, like, sent chills up my spine. Just, like, this entire moment just has me on edge, giving me goosebumps. And I know this goes for a lot of people too, but man, this was intense and freaky and just, what the hell? This is just such a what the hell moment. And the two Stevens approach each other, but White Diamond's having none of this, commanding the pink side, the diamond side of Steven to stop. And, you know, Diamond Steven's having none of her shit. And so she tries to send out her beam to, you know, control him, only for it to be deflected by an even more impressive version of Steven's shield. So, you know, she's taken aback, but she tries again. But you see this even more complete and surrounding and encompassing shield placed around Steven. So she goes in with everyone around who's under her control with this controlling blast, only for the pink diamond side of Steven just unleashed the shockwave, just knocking everyone down. And Steven's just like, no, you're hurting them, stop. And so they come together. Finally, Connie hands Steven over to Diamond Steven, and, you know, there's James Baxter. That's all you get. James Baxter's animation kicks in, and this beautiful moment with these, you know, sweeping shots and just, oh my god, it's beautiful. Listen, I am a animation major. You know, I got my bachelor's degree in animation, and oh my god, you know, it doesn't take an expert to tell you this is fantastic animation. And animation that, man, you know, that's the kind of work that only a Disney artist could pull off, because, you know, only Disney artists normally get this kind of quality out. That's the only time you actually get someone to give you quality like this. And this is coming from a guy who worked on, you know, this guy worked on Beauty and the Beast, like that scene in the ballroom that's just widespread and sweeping. Like, that's the quality of animation you're getting here. Movie quality animation in this moment. And Pink just observes the two Stevens refusing into themselves, because he was always Steven. It was never Pink Diamond, it was never Rose Quartz, it was always Steven. Despite everything, he's still himself. He was always himself. The experience he's been through, everything he's gone through, everything he's felt, is not the remnants of someone who was just trying to downplay everything in their lives, trying to escape, trying to just pass things off to someone else and just pretend like they're not who they're supposed to be. No, it was a real person experiencing real things, having real feelings, real thoughts. Yes, Rose Quartz and Pink Diamond are still in there to a certain degree, a very minuscule degree, but Steven in the end is his own person, and this proves it without a shadow of a doubt. And Connie's just so grateful to have Steven back and okay. And when, you know, White starts throwing a tantrum, like, no, you were supposed to be pink, you were supposed to be perfect, you can't be this thing, you know, and she's just losing control, you're not a child. And Steven's just like, but I am a child. That's why I'm this way. What's your excuse? Which is a callback. Oh my god, it's a callback to the friggin' pilot. Which Steven's comeback. It just, what? Like, to call back something that far back and have Steven use it in this moment. And Pink Diamond realizes how childish she's been acting. And she's embarrassed. And she starts to flaw with this pink light within her. And it just sweeps over everyone she's in control of. And she realizes, oh my god, this pink light radiating from everyone is coming from me, and she's embarrassed and she loses her hold on everyone. And everyone's so happy just to be back, be together and all that good stuff. And even when the others come in to help out, everything's basically settled. Everyone's just happy to be together. And we even have Steven welcome back Pink Pearl in a very just offhanded moment, but it's just like, you know, Pink Pearl meant a lot to Pink Diamond, so he just wants to greet her and tell her, hey, someone missed you, and it's good to have you back. But White Diamond's just so kerfluffled, and she calls out to Yellow and Blue, who's just like, oh my god, she has an imperfection, what is this? And White Diamond's at a loss. She's just like, but if I'm not perfect, then what am I? What are you? And Steven was like, no one should be perfect. And if you're perfect, then you don't really, you know, it's through our imperfections that we end up finding out what we like, who we're supposed to be, who we can be, how we can just gain, you know, connections to others. It's not wrong to have imperfections as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, which is a beautiful message. It's just such a wonderful message. I love this series and the things it tries to teach people, kids especially, and I hope beyond hope that people take some of this stuff to heart. And White Diamond's just at a loss as to what she should do from here on out, how she should proceed, because she was supposed to be the one with the answers, the one who could do anything, be anything. But Steven's like, look, you might be able to become that, but first, gotta get out of your head. Which is such a great reference, because it's just when people think too much and just, you know, stay in their head too much and, you know, get all these silly notions of what's, you know, proper and all this crap, they end up just destroying the lives of people who could otherwise be happy, and destroying their own lives where they could actually be free. You know, get out of your head, feel more, allow yourself to have emotions, feelings, wants and desires, as long as it doesn't harm anyone. Dude, why conceal it? Why hide it? Why just, no, not, you know, oh my god, this is such a complex train of thought too. And it would seem like it would be something that's simple, but fuck, if people in today's age actually are able to accept and roll with these things. And so Pink Diamond accepts, and while Sadie is performing a cover of all things, Let Me Drive my Van into Your Heart, which, oh my god, again, another callback, a song we haven't heard in a good long while. In comes the Diamond Mech, with all of the diamonds and the crystal gems arriving back on Beach City. Steven hugging Greg after all this time. And of all things, the off-colors arrive on the planet, happy to have gotten away from whole world and everything that was going on there, only to see the diamonds of all things. And they're taken aback at first, but Steven tells them no, everything's okay now. And we have this cute little moment with Lars and Lion where it just, have this connection now through being resurrected, and it's just this sweet moment. I wish we got to see more of Lars, but seeing this little moment is great, and this awkward moment between him and Sadie, just getting to reacquaint themselves with each other and everything that's gone on, embracing their changes and just being happy to be together, which is very sweet. And we start to wrap things up with Steven singing the theme song, which is so great because, again, it brings things full circle. The very first song we ever heard in Steven Universe, if you watch the pilot, or hell, if you just watch any episode of Steven Universe, it's the first song you hear, and it's a reprise of it. And we have this nice moment where everyone gets acquainted now with certain characters, just getting to know each other, getting to re-know each other, just having these great fun moments. And Steven brings the diamonds to try to help the corrupted gems, showing them what's happened. And Blue suggests maybe using the fountain in order to just help bring everybody back, using their gem juices. And just help to restore everything. So the crystal gems grab the corrupted gems and start dunking them in the various pools, and I love White's slight apprehension about this and uncertainty, but the fact that she's at least going along with it shows that she's come a long way. I also love the fact that she's now just at a decent size now, just slightly larger than the other two diamonds. Because she had that whole larger than life thing going on, and now it's just like, yeah, I'm still tall, but I'm at a decent enough size. And as the various gems get revived, Centipedal, whatever her name is now, it's so good to see everything so kind of brought full circle. All these gems that they've saved and rescued and were finally able to fully bring back, and even Jasper shows up looking very devilish with her somewhat still corrupted form, but she's finally back, and she sees Steven and she goes in for the attack, and then she kind of realized that she's being watched by someone specific, namely Yellow Diamond, as Blue and White kind of shoot the shit. And I love how talkative Blue is being here, because she's just gabbing it up with White Diamond. Both of them are, but Yellow's just like, no, don't touch it, everything's fine now. And Jasper's just so taken aback by the whole situation, and Amethyst does her best to kind of console her and help her out for the most part. And just this ending scene we have of all the diamonds just smiling and laughing and emoting, and just it's just so fun and nice and friendly and just beautiful. Like to have us come this far and everything, to see this image right here, it's surreal to a certain degree. It really is. And Steven and White Diamond exchange these very awkward smiles, and Steven just like looks at White Diamond like, hey, is everything okay? And despite having a variety of very forced and awkward facial expressions and all this, White Diamond just seems like, oh, this is okay. This is the way it should be. Like, she's accepting this moment and understanding this moment. And it's very nice that she's finally starting to come around and learn where she erred after all this time, and maybe she'll try to start working towards a better homeworld. And so, as the diamonds leaving behind Pink's home ship, leg ship, and I love the way this ship ends up parked, because them legs from here to homeworld, baby. And we see the scene that we see in every Steven Universe opening, or it's night, they're having a bit of a cookout, everyone's together, all the crystal gems are together, and just like in the opening, Steven is joined by Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. And Steven, well, Steven wants to give his final, well, he wants to show them his newest song, basically, which, of all things, is titled Change Your Mind. Oh, that is beautiful. Rebecca, fantastic. And we end in the same way each opening ends, with a shooting star and our 4 heroes looking up, having saved the world and helped so many people. Oh my god. Just, oof. This episode, these episodes, this series has come such a long way, done so much good, and were this to be the last season, I would be so fine with it. I know some people might have issues with that, but man, the way they ended this, damn near best I could have hoped for. Because there were a lot of theories going on about what would happen and all that good stuff, but you know, with the way this ended, fantastic. A+ job. Thank you to the team behind this for doing everything they did for this series. From the sound directors, the sound mixers, the vocal actors, the voice actors, the colorists, the inkers, the writers, the directors, everyone who worked to make this show what it is. I have nothing but thanks and respect, because I've been watching this series ever since I was in college. And I hope to one day do something like this in the future. It might be an impossibility, but I'm so glad to have seen this, because this is what animation is all about. Just these moments, these collaborations, bringing together all these people and making, maybe trying to make a positive impact on the world. Maybe this won't change anyone's mind at the end of the day, but they tried. They tried to send out that positive message and also present a good story as a whole as well. And I'm so thankful for that. And all I can really say here at the end is, if you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike. Either way, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you satisfied with this ending, or do you feel that there could have been more? How did you feel about the fusions, the way the diamonds have changed, how White Diamond was defeated, quote unquote? How do you feel about the return of Lars and the off-colors? Do you wish they had come in sooner? Are you happy with the way this all wrapped up? Do you feel that, we don't need to go further than this? Or are you happy that there will be more seasons? Just, hey, lay it all on the line. Tell me your thoughts. Maybe we can get a discussion. Even late as this video may be, I don't feel like you could ever really not have an opinion about this series as a whole and the impact it's had on people's lives. But I've gone on for way too long, so all I can say now is, hey, how about subscribing? Because once it returns, I'll definitely be bringing you more episode reviews of Steven Universe. And even if I'm just talking into the void of the internet, I want to thank you for joining me. And I will always be appreciative if you keep an open mind. Thanks for everything. Bye-bye.